Hey YouTube, Matt Chrysler here. I have another quick review for you, and today we are going to look at the Targus Versavu carrying case for the new iPad, also similarly known as the 360 rotation case. I also did the iTron's 360 rotating case. It's very similar to this one. You can check that out on my YouTube channel. This one actually is on sale right now for about $42 on Best Buy's website. You have to pick it up in store. It normally is going to cost you around $59.99. Now, just to be clear on this, there are a few things that are happening with this actual Targus case, and that's the sleep-wake function is not functioning correctly, just like some of the other ones like the Slim case and things like that. So if that's the case, all you have to do is email Targus and they will send you a replacement, and they're really prompt about it. Get it to you within about a week. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look around the exterior of it. As you can see here, I have a stylus here in the holder, and I found that the stylus holder really functions well, and I didn't think I would use it very often when I had the first Viewscape, but I actually use it as a stylus quite often now for note-taking, drawing, and also playing games like Draw Sim and things like that. So it actually is coming in quite handy. Same leather material on the front. You have the little flip here, so that's going to allow us to put it into a typing stand. You can see I've used this for about 2 weeks now, and I do have a little bit of a line. I don't know if you can see if it makes it on the camera, but a little bit of a crease here from putting it in the typing angle, because it's a really tight flap here that'll allow you to put it in the stand. But again, it's a case, so I guess it's not a big deal. You can't really make it out too badly. Take a look at the back. On here you see we have the elastic strap that's actually keeping it closed, that covers up the actual top itself. On the back of the case we have openings for our sound button, our volume toggle. Okay, we have a power button up top here. It's being covered up, as you can see. We have our headphone jack, and our headphone jack is actually, let me just focus this. Headphone jack is nicely exposed here, so you're not going to have any problem getting a connector in there. The opening on the back here, that's going to show our Apple logo. On the very bottom, we have our speaker covering. Down here, we just take the strap off so we can actually see this. Okay, so the strap, again, is what's going to hold our case in. We have our opening down here for the speaker port, not blocked at all, so there's no kind of distortion or any kind of muting of that. We have our 30-pin dock connector down here at the bottom, and that's pretty much it. So if we open it up, this is the new one that they actually sent me from Targus itself, and you can see sleep-wake function works just fine. Now, again, with these cases, any of these cases that have a sleep-wake function that don't latch on down here like the Viewscape does, you're going to have a tendency to hear it click on and off once in a while when you're moving it. If I take this lid okay, you can kind of hear that. I'm trying to get it on so the camera can hear it. Okay, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. Anyway, so it can sometimes unlock and lock your iPad. Now, one thing to do is just turn off that lock sound. You'll never notice, but again, you won't know if it's actually working or not. So I'm going to take the stylus out of here. Alright, and on the front, again, here's our stylus holder, and here's the flap that's going to allow us to put us into our typing angle. Let's go and open this up, pull the strap around. If we open it up on the inside of the front, we have our nice micro suede material, very similar to all the other Targus cases that are out there right now. We have our little divots that are going to allow for us to put it in the stand mode. You can see these are really nice deep rivets here. The third one, or the first one, depending on how you look at it, is actually going to be a little difficult with the stand. Sometimes it slips out, but it's not too bad. With the actual case itself, it has a separate piece, backing piece here. Now with the Viewscape, this entire back area on the bottom is going to be exposed. If that makes you feel uneasy, uncomfortable, then I would go with the Versavu here, because it gives you an actual back plate that locks onto it, and it doesn't just slide into the case similar like it does on the Viewscape. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the different stand options. So we have 3 options here. Just focus this up. That's our first option. That's going to be a really good angle for just watching movies, things like that. We have our second stand option, again just a little bit more tilted here, and then our third option. And I find you can actually use this third option here for typing. It's relatively comfortable, except that happens quite often. You're going to notice that it slips. Tap too hard on the top, comes down. All right, now that's a bit of a bummer, but again, that just comes with this the case coming all the way down to the bottom lip of the iPad itself. So now, the best thing about this actual case itself is that it rotates. Okay, it rotates a full 360 degrees, similar to the one that they had for the iPad 2. So if we want to put it into portrait mode, we can go ahead and place this in our stand. Okay, and now we have a portrait mode stand. So we'll look at all three options again here. Okay, just fine, and just fine. I actually find it's more stable in this mode here. It doesn't fall nearly as often. So I don't know if that was in the design or what they did with that. So lastly, let's take a look at the typing option. So now if we have our iPad case open, we'll flip the lid upside down so it's face down, and we'll take this back plate, flip it this way, and we'll focus up here on this actual lip. Now, the lip itself, see, is normally flat, but it comes up like this, and we're going to stick the iPad directly in there, and good to go. Now, this does give you a really good typing angle, actually. I found that it's, let me give you a little demonstration here. I found that when you're typing at a desk or anything like that, it's not too bad. It's actually pretty good. The only downside to it is that it doesn't come all the way to the end of the desk, so you have to kind of get your hands over the case, and like I said before, it leaves a little bit of a mark. It's really hard to see with the camera, but there's a little bit of mark on the case, but again, it's just a little cosmetic thing. It's really not a big deal, and that's basically it. So rating on this out of 5 stars, I give it about a 4. There's a few things that could be better, such as when you close the case here, I would like to see it have another one of those lips like the Viewscape does. Very delicate to the sensitive to the lock sleep-wake function, but again, overall, I say it's a really nice case. It's really good if you want to have alternatives to just a regular generic landscape view all the time. If you really think you're going to do more in the portrait mode, then I'd say this is a really good case. And the other thing about this that I find is a good value is that it really does feel like it protects it. It's going to be able to travel with you. You're going to be able to fit it in your bag, throw it in your bag, take it on work trips, whatever it is you have to do, without having to worry about your iPad getting damaged. I don't know if it's going to work with the skin on it. It's a pretty tight fit as it is, so I would say all these Viewscape cases, the Versavu, they usually don't, they're not intended for you to be used with the skin on the back, but it's worth a shot. You got to take advantage of the return policy, so that's a good thing. Alright guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you.